Questions such as, where am I? Who am I? What has happened to me? What do I know? I know I exist. I know I breathe. I know this room is disgustingly warm despite its cold, cold walls. I know that horrible wet sound is driving me mad. Same. I know red blood flows through my veins. I know my heart pumps that blood beat by beat. I know the inside of my stomach bubbles and burns with acid. I know my bladder feels like it's about to burst, filled with urine. I know my intestines pipe shit through over a meter of contracting meat tubes coiled in my belly. Wow, this is descriptive. But not much else. I don't remember what distinguishes me from any other sack of meat. I rack my brain. I reach back as far as my mental arm can reach, underneath the old shelf full of baggage that writhes and presently glares at me despite having no eyes that I can perceive. The weight of the shelf is crushing my arm. The act of recalling it, in itself, painful. It would be easier to just leave it all there. In the dark, where it might be forgotten forever, just like most of the people that were sent down there, into those hopeless puddles. To the place I lost myself and everything. But no, I won't forget. I have to remember, or no one else will. I reach back further. The weight of a sharp corner starts to scrape layers of skin as I reach further in. Finally, my mental hand clasps around something, a small and soft object that compresses under my fingers. I pull my arm out from under the shelf. The sharp corners gouge my arm open. The crimson river runs rapid and splashes onto the floor. Except, how? My arms never moved. I'm not even bleeding. I felt it, though. I felt my skin shredding. I heard the sound. I could even still feel the object between my fingertips. What am I holding? Why? It was just what I was looking for. It's a memory. It's small and hovers like a dank smoke in the air, but it's a start, a pathway to more. Yes, I'm starting to remember now. Lizzie. That's it. That's my name. My name is Lizzie. It's nice to meet you. That's only the start of the breadcrumb trail, though. I have to follow it. It's easier to live through a memory when you can share it with someone. You'll listen, won't you? You'll help me retrace my steps? Good. Good. Oh. Where to begin? Where should the dark fade? Or should I...
Wake up!
Huh?
Finally. Jeez. You were out cold, Liz.
What? I was covered in sweat, my eyes darting around like flies to figure out my surroundings. I was in the hangover of a deep dream that clung to me like glue. In front of me was the blurry shape of a person. A boy? A man? Male, at least. He was staring at me with concern and frustration. Where am I? Who are you? He frowns at me.
You really were out there to the world, huh? You're at the workshop, Lizzie. In Pack Rat, where you work. And I'm technically your boss, though I like to think we're all on the same team here. My name is Fred.
Okay, it seems like there's some issue going on. First of all, let's save. Okay. Let's see if that fixes it. Is there supposed to be music that I just can't hear? Because I turned it down too low? There we go.
Starting to ring any bells yet?
Oh, right. Right. And, what do I do? Looking at him now, Fred gives me the impression of a chubby bear. His face almost has a snout. His nose twitches back and forth when he's not talking. Maybe it's dust irritating his nostrils? He pinches the bridge of his nose and closes his eyes.
Please tell me you're kidding.
I suppose even with no memory, it's not that hard to deduce. There's sewing machines throughout the room, and I'm seated at one. Clearly, I sew. I think I may even have sewn the sweater I'm wearing. I must be good at it, too. It's soft and comfy. Then again, I can see little scars speckled on my fingers. Were they scars of experience or scars of clumsiness? Let's say it was the former. I let out a little chuckle and a smile. Yeah, I am. I had you going there, huh? In truth, I was only half kidding, but I assumed / hoped I'd start remembering the other parts once I woke up more. Fred didn't find the joke quite as funny.
You people sometimes. Tell you what, Lizzie. You're clearly running low on steam. I really shouldn't do this, but you need the rest. The mother matron won't appreciate your slacking. Perhaps you can make it up in the coming weeks. Go home, get some sleep. Maybe stop by Spruce's clinic too. Get a checkup. You have 2 days off, max.
Okay. I'll go home. Except, where was home? Wake up, me! I sat there for a moment, trying to remember where to go.
Lizzie! Go!
Yes, sir. Warily, I stumble out of the workshop. I feel exhausted to my bones, aches, throbbing pain deeply seated in my flesh. There's a dreamlike haze resting on the world around me. It feels unfamiliar. Clearly, this is a place I should know. This is apparently where I work. And yet, I have no idea where I am. I rack my brain and I pat my pockets, hoping to find a clue. Fortunately for me, there is one. A small notebook. I open it and thumb through. Bits and pieces are starting to come back to me as my eyes scan the scattered diary entries, notes, and doodles. I finally find the most helpful page. Right. I remember now. The boss was correct. I was in Pack Rat right now, named so because of how densely the area is filled. Every building here is some kind of workshop or storage zone. Some places are packed so full that you barely can walk around them. Fortunately, the place I work was roomier. More broadly speaking, I'm in the boarding town, city, I call home. A secluded place enclosed in makeshift walls made for whatever was available. Scrap, metal, old furniture, repurposed rubble. Outside the walls is an endless miasma of fog that obscures things. No one's really seen what's out there, and anyone that's attempted to explore this mist has never returned. If I had to describe this place, I'd say it's like a half-empty glass filled with dirty water. The glass is fragile, too. Does that make any sense? Well, it does to me, anyways. More importantly than metaphors, though, I know where home is now, and I could feel deep in my bones that sleep. Though, the detail on the map leaves something to be desired. Things past me. I'll figure it out. My memory is just hazy from being so tired. And so I pick a direction and start walking. The winding streets don't make much sense to me, but I follow them all the same. I'm alone, but muffled voices keep. Sometimes muffled sobs, too. try not to focus much on them. I think I used to in the past, but my heart couldn't take it. Nothing I could do, even if I want to, anyways. Everyone's got to do something for the collective. Everyone's got their jobs, as I have mine. Whatever the Mother Matron needs of us. My shoes are old and worn, only offering a meek defense against the hard asphalt streets. They fit well, though, and the ground is dry today. Job done. You're like everyone here, in a lot of ways. Doesn't matter how weathered you are. The fact you're still together means something is strong enough to keep you together. May your spirit grow like the calluses on working hands, or the soles of your feet, so the Mother Matron says. In other words, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You grow adversity, and by the end of everything, you're the best person you can be. It gives all the hard parts of your life a kind of silver lining, or at least it's what I take from it. My thoughts are interrupted by a lump beneath my shoe and the panicked yelp of a small rodent. I lift my foot and the thing scurries back under the grate beneath my feet. There below the street is a tunnel full of thousands and thousands of rats, scurrying for dear life through the endless canals. I doubt the poor things even know where they're going. The one I stepped on somehow managed to climb its way up out of the grating, only for my clumsiness to scare it back where it came. I felt kind of awful. Throughout the boarding is a network of tunnels designed to funnel the endless swarm of rats beneath our feet. No one knows where the little critters all come from, but they flow like water beneath the streets. And that's gross. Thousands upon thousands of rats compacted against each other, covered in filth and God knows what else. Waste matter clumped in their fur. These poor things. A primary source of protein, some kids have to fish for rats, sorting through ones that are too sick and diseased to eat, and ones healthy enough for consumption. Yeah. The yield is never particularly high, and the rats never particularly tasted good unless you know how to prepare them. The one I stepped on had to have been rather spry, the poor thing. I can only hope that maybe my unintentional intervention gave it some time before some kid impaled it on a stick and roasted it. Ugh. I don't want to think about this anymore. I decided to keep walking to Spruce's clinic. I'm supposed to go home. Hello? Spruce? You here?
Yes, I'll be right there. Stitching someone up back here. Please, take a seat.
I sit down on a stiff chair with minimal padding. It makes my tailbone ache, but I'll endure it. Spruce is known as the resident healer of the boarding. She taught herself by reading pharmaceutical and medical books she found in the library as well as through experimentation. This isn't to say there aren't others that try their hand at medicine, but to put it simply, none of them are as good as Spruce. If she can't fix you up, you're out of luck. She walks into the room.
Ah, Lizzie. Been a while. Those are some dark bags under your eyes. Working long hours? Not sleeping lately?
Guess not. I passed out at work today. Fred told me I should see you. She rolls her eyes and gives a fake laugh.
Ah, of course he would. You have to be sick. It can't be his fault at all, right? Jerkwad.
Right? He seems like an asshole.
Let's give you a checkup anyways. Follow me to the exam room.
A small joke, as the exam room is just across from where I'm sitting. She gestures for me to sit on one of the beds, and after doing so, she does her usual routine. Checks my blood pressure, pulse, shines a light down my ears, nose, and mouth, lightly strikes a mallet on my knee. I look around the room, noticing that it's gone under some renovations since I last visited. I'm amazed you found the time to decorate the place. It's looking good.
Oh, thanks. I squeeze in a little here and there. Usually when I have to watch someone close while they sleep.
That's a creepy way of putting it.
Oh, you know what I mean. Folks in recovery. At least a few people that experience seizures. Stuff like that. Anyways, I'm proud of how it's looking. Genuinely can't believe I found that poster in such nice condition. I'm happy with how the Phoenix has turned out too.
I look towards the bony fellow at the side of the room. What about him? Is that a real skeleton? Spruce checks my heartbeat and my lungs using a stethoscope.
Nah, it's plastic. A patient that scabs and junks a lot gave it to me as a thank you. Trust me, if I wanted to get a real skeleton, I wouldn't have to look very hard.
Very true.
Really wish I had a skull, though.
She nods and puts down the stethoscope.
Everything seems good from what I can see. But that's just what I can see. Tell me how you're doing. Anything odd lately? Odd sensations, pain, nausea, shortness of breath, stuff like that?
Oh, this chair is too low. I'm a little sore, but I think that's just from overworking. Maybe bad posture and being tired. I've also been seeing things.
Hmm? What kind of things?
Sometimes I'll be standing there and the world suddenly shifts. Like, right before my eyes, it turns into something horrible. Horrible sounds, flesh growing where it shouldn't be, things that aren't really there. My heart starts beating really fast and I freeze, terrified. And just like that, the world's back to normal and I'm panicking over nothing. My dreams are really strange, too.
Hmm.
You don't believe me, do you? She shakes her head. Wasn't what she meant.
I actually do believe you. Just thinking. Wish I could say this is the first time I've heard something like that, but...
But?
Well, some of the mumblers I'm taking care of now said stuff like that. Before they turned.
Really?
Yeah. Can I trust you to keep a secret? I'm only telling you because I think it's important you know.
Sure.
Contrary to what people think, the Crepuscule isn't the only place where mumblers are made. Not anymore, at least.
You're kidding!
Not in the slightest. Granted, people have broken down before around the boarding. You know that. Lots of our neighbor brothers and sisters struggle with feelings of anxiety and depression. But this is different. Mumblerism, or whatever you want to call it, is a much more rare and severe thing. It's like a complete detachment from reality. People stuck in a looping nightmare that never ends. And all they can do about it is ramble.
That's... Mother help us. And it's happening around here now? Why haven't I heard about this?
As I said, it's really rare. I only have a few cases out of all the people I treat. And if the AC gang's been dealing with any, they sure aren't sharing. I'm trying to keep it under wraps, as I haven't gotten to study enough people to get a grasp of the emerging symptoms or causes. And I don't want people to panic.
Understandable.
Mumblers already don't get the best treatment by most people. Imagine how people would be if they jumped to the conclusion that they're contagious.
I can see what you mean.
To be clear, I don't want you to jump to the conclusion that that's happening to you. You might simply be having sleep deprivation-induced hallucinations. Or maybe some gas from junks is making the air a little funny. Hell, maybe the
She stops herself for my sake.
Shipyard is just more ranked than usual. I thought it important to warn you, though.
Appreciate it.
For now, I'll give you some medicine that should help with the anxiety. Stop back for regular checkups and we can keep an eye on it. See how it develops.
What's gonna be in it?
It's a mixture of lavender, valerian, lemon balm, St. John's wort, and some other stuff that makes it taste good. My latest and so far most effective concoction, or so my patients tell me.
Thanks, Spruce.
Anything else worrying you today?
No, I think that's it. Fred gave me some days off to go sleep, so I'll do that once I leave.
Alright, that's good. I don't see anything else abnormal with you, so I think we're done. Oh, I'll give you some tea that you can drink that can help you fall asleep if you have trouble, just in case. While I go get stuff together for you, can you run that bucket of food over there to the shack out back?
Mumbler Shack?
Yeah. It's about lunchtime, and they need to eat. Would you mind?
No, not at all.
Great, thanks. There's keys hanging up by the door.
Okay, she just said that they're kind of dangerous, and yet they're telling her to go throw a bucket of food at them. Alright. I grab the bucket, which is full of some carefully assembled sandwiches wrapped in paper and bottles of water. I exit through the back door, which leads to a small yard with a small, roughly shed-sized building, maybe slightly larger than that. I never liked coming back here, as ashamed I am to say. It's always good to help the mumblers, but I mean, I can kind of hear them from here. It's very unsettling. Just endless word salad. If you try to parse what they're saying, you get these horrible words are hard. Of misery that you wish you could underhear. They can't help it though, and I shouldn't feel threatened, even if I find it uncomfortable. Mumblers are harmless. I repeat that to myself as I unlock the shack door and enter. Ooh, ooh, that was a big yawn. Inside is somewhat cramped but generally well kept bunk room. Some bodies are sleeping, others are sitting upright on the bed or standing near the corners. None of them notice me. They're lost in their own nightmare loops. Poor things. I really wish I knew how to help them. These people deserve better. Most of them were hand-selected by the Mother Matron to brave the horrors of the Crepuscule, a labyrinth of darkness that lies beneath our home, full of terrors that are kept at bay by a locked tunnel. No one really knows why the Mother Matron sends people down there, or what they end up finding. You can see the effect it has, at least on the ones that made it back home alive. I shudder to consider what could have happened to the poor souls that didn't return. I can only hope that they've passed on peacefully and whatever ended them was swift and painless. I ponder almost if that end would be preferable to what the mumblers go through now. They're alive, but living. And these ones here in Spruce's care are the lucky ones. Many don't get help the way they need. Some are hurt, bullied, killed. At least once. People call them wastes of space, drains on our ever-dwindling resources, mouths to feed that can't contribute anything meaningful. People say. But they're people. They didn't choose this, to be so broken. They need help. They need love. I would want people to take care of me if I ended up like this. I don't know. Maybe that line of thinking will lead us to starve to death someday. My morality hold up when my body is dying from weeks of no food? Can I eat the concept of doing the right thing? I would like to think that it's preferable to die because of the good things you did rather than to survive because you gave up your humanity and compassion. Right now, I feel that's the choice I would make. Anyways, I've been kind of standing here holding a bucket of sandwiches and water for a while I was lost in thought, my arms shouting at me to give it a break. I dropped the bucket in the middle of the room. Do they, get the sandwiches and water themselves? Does Spruce feed it to them later? A question I will seek an answer to another day. I leave, gently closing the door behind me. I get my medicine from Spruce on the way out of the shed and head home. Feeling my body already starting to power down, I walk through the door to house ready. throw myself on the mattress before something catches my eye and freezes me in my step. Resting on top of my bed was a paper envelope with a red wax seal, emblazoned with the matron's symbol. Ooh, not the matron's symbol. My heart sank to the bottom of a deep, dark canyon inside me, and bile began to bubble and churn violently in my stomach. I reached up to pick the envelope, hoping that this was an illusion, a trick of the light. It wasn't. It was real. As real as it can be. The letters with the red wax seal were a legend amongst kids in boarding. They say that it's the worst, most horrible piece of paper you could ever own in your entire life. I undid the seal and removed the letter inside. I unfolded it. My eyes darted back and forth, scanning the page. It reads as follows. My dear child.
Oh, my dear child.
Oh, I don't
The
read.
very thought of you warms me so. Seeing you and your siblings grow through the years is always my special delight. I give so much of myself every day to ensure you all remain safe and secure inside these walls. Alas, I cannot do everything on my own. Every so often, I must rely on my children's support to do what must be done for the collective good, even if it means sending my darlings into the jaws of danger. This letter is to inform you that you have been personally selected to become a surveyor. This is a title of great honor, bestowed upon those that will brave the depths of the crepuscule for your mother matron's pride, as well as the continued survival of the boarding. You will be paired with 2 boys named Pucks and Rich. As soon as you receive this letter, you are to meet with them, make preparations for your journey below, and visit me at my dwelling in Mother's Tower. Attempts to shirk your duty will be met with severe punishment. I will see you soon, my dear, with all the love in the world. Your Mother Matron.
I stare at the letter. My legs begin to wobble. My hands start to tremor. The letter floats to the ground, like the way they describe leaves in books. I start breathing fast and hard. My entire body quakes. My eyes roll to the back of my skull as I pass out and collapse to the floor. I'm back here. Did I die? Was that everything? Was that the end of my memories? Kind of abrupt, to be honest.
Did you ever hear the story about the girl in the sweater? No. Of course not. It's still being written. I hear it gets downright quizzing. I'm so excited.
What is this thing?
What am I? What are you? What is anything?
This creature can hear my thoughts?
Everything and anything were nothing once. Then they became something. I think things would have been better if they stayed as nothing. The disease called existing is widespread and cancerous. Extremely virulent. It infected everything that was nothing and forced it to deal with the pain of being.
Mood.
Forcing things that exist to be happy that they exist. Manipulative. Terrible. But enough about things.
Pardon my language, but what the fuck is this thing talking about? And why does it kind of look like me? Ignoring my confusion, the creature steps around me and outside of my vision. It fiddles with something behind me. The slurping sounds grow faster. The world fades again. I'm awake again. Deeply confused, but awake. I sit there on the ground, frozen for a while before reality hits me again. I stare at the painting on my wall. Mother Matron. Out of every person here that could have ever been selected, she ends up picking me. My mind is back to the mumblers in Spruce's clinic, them and the endless droning madness that consumed everything about them. Entire people with dreams and personalities erased by trauma. Why? Why me? I think back to how I was supposed to work in a few days, how I was supposed to visit Spruce again, to make sure I was better, to live longer. No matter what I wanted to do, the decision was made for me. Mother needed. I was not the kind of person that wanted to find out what happened. Mothers. And after some thinking, I decided a good place to start would be by asking my neighbor sisters. They're a pair of twins named Janie and Katie. I'd like to think we would be good friends, and I was glad to have them as my neighbors. I approached their front stoop. Katie was reading a book with a faded cover while her sister painted her nails with jet black nail polish.
Hey, Katie! Hey, Janine!
Janine.
Hey, Lizzie!
Hey, Lizzie.
You seem chipper. I thought you'd be more gloomy. What do you mean? Oh, well, I saw the poster come by and drop something off at your place. They don't come by that often.
Alright.
Surprise, the mailboy doesn't want to visit the shit zone.
Mood. Oh. I didn't explain that, did I? Well, you saw on the map that my home is in a place called the shipyard, right? It's not actually called that. It's actually named after the fact that this area is where the majority of the sewage waste is discarded. I'm sure you can guess what the actual name is knowing that. Cursing makes me feel bad though, so I call it the shipyard instead. You absolutely cannot evade the smell here. It's awful. It sticks to everything like a film. I've gotten mostly nose blind to it at this point, fortunately. But sometimes I still have to break out.
Is it one of those letters? Yeah. Let's see.
There we go.
Oh no. No!
Ouch. Hope you don't die or lose your mind.
A mood.
Janine!
What? Just being real. It was nice knowing you.
Don't be so insensitive! It's okay. I'm still processing things, but I'm holding it together. I still have things to do before I...
Anything we can help with?
Well...
It's nice to not have to voice her constantly. Alright. Alright, so it looks like it's not freezing my game while I'm doing this. Cool. Let's ask about the crepuscule.
Sorry. I don't think I know much more than you, I'm afraid.
Yeah, the books never really went into what's down there. Mother Matron never really talks about it other than how dangerous it is. There's not any first-hand accounts of it to go off of. The most anyone seems to know is that it's like an endless series of tunnels with dangerous creatures inside. Some people say the crepuscule is constantly shifting and morphing, almost as if it's alive.
Ew. Sounds squishy.
But that's just a rumor. Again, no first-hand accounts. I thought you were a fan of hers.
Fair point. I guess it's odd for someone that has a framed painting of a person to not know much about them.
I mean, I look up to her and read the scriptures like most everyone else, but it's different than meeting her in person.
She nods understandingly, then shrugs.
Fair enough. Unfortunately, I've never met her, so I wouldn't know.
Katie shrugs with an apologetic expression. She also has never met her.
Lucky you. I had a phase where I read nothing but books about surveyors. Just in case I ever got picked, you know?
Smart.
The Mother Matron wrote some books on them that you can find at the library. If you know where to look, there's also unauthorized books about them that were put together by people who knew the surveyors before they left.
I wish I had time to go read them.
Honestly, they're kind of dry and sad. Probably better to get the highlights from someone else.
Oh, so you're gonna tell me?
Best advice I can give you? Preparation is key. Try to be ready for everything and anything. Also bring something sharp. Hope that helps.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, their voices are so quiet.
Hi, hello!
Okay. I can't help my curiosity. I don't know how relevant it would be to me, but I want to know. I try to peer over her shoulder and read the book along with her, but the position is awkward. Katie can't help but notice. Katie looks up at me, smiles and shrugs as if to say it's nothing that's that interesting, but go ahead. She hands me the book, keeping her hand on the page she was on. I grab it, holding it in the same spot so she wouldn't lose her place. The cover is nondescript, save for some initials on the spine. Might have had a dust jacket or something before that bore the title, but that's long gone, I'm sure. I have a hard time following it. Lots of names I don't recognize. Something about someone named Nix and people or creatures. Hard to tell without the context. They gave birth to, and then people that those children gave birth to. Must be some kind of fantasy novel or something. Doubt it has much relevance to my situation, or if it does, I sure can't see it. Oh, it's about Greek gods. I smile and hand the book back to Katie.
Nope. Can't say I know them. Katie?
Me neither, sorry. Maybe you should ask around the market? I'm sure someone there would know. Maybe try meeting Marissa. She's a little, odd. But you'd be surprised what kind of information she can dig up.
Meaty Marissa.
Don't recommend trying her cuts, though, unless you've got a barf bag.
Why is she called Meaty Marissa?
'Cause she sells weird meat.
Oh. I thought there'd be more to it for some reason.
What more do you need in a name?
You guys can have my stuff when I leave.
Sweet, dibs on the bed.
Janine!
Lighten up, I'm kidding. Kind of. Let's be real, though. Would dying really be the worst thing that could happen to you?
Oh my god, what is with you today?
Oh, like you and I haven't had this exact conversation before. Everyone else wants to make happy. Like the toilet bowl they live in doesn't stink of shit. Doesn't everything about this place make you feel like closing your eyes forever sometimes?
Janine, what are you even saying? That we'd all be better off dead?
I mean, you literally live in a place called a shit yard. So maybe.
Kinda? Not like I'm rushing to the noose or anything, but I feel like it would be a relief.
It seems like a really sad way to look at life. Life can be hard, but there's always bright spots worth seeing. People to love. Happy moments that stay with you forever.
Katie doesn't see it, but Janine gives a, I don't want to say it, but jerking off motion while rolling her eyes.
I can't say she doesn't have a point, though. I mean, I know where things are heading. Maybe it's better I make peace with it.
Don't talk like that, Lizzie. You're going to come back. I know you will.
Katie, you know that no one has...
It doesn't matter. You'll be the first. You'll make it back in one piece. Even if you don't believe it, I do. I believe in you, Lizzie.
Katie...
For what it's worth, if anyone was to ever make it back, I think it would be someone like you. Still got dibs on the bed, though.
Oh, I have everything I need.
All right. Thank you guys for your help. I should get going.
There's a lump in my throat. I swallow and talk through it.
It was really nice knowing you guys.
Suddenly, Katie embraces me tightly. After a moment, she looks at me with twinkling, moist eyes.
Lizzie, you better come back. I'll never forgive you if you don't.
She holds me for a moment longer, burying her face in my chest. Before she can stain it with tears, she pulls back. I can't think of the right words to say, so I simply smile at her and say thank you. Janine simply gives me a gentle wave. It's subtle, but I know that's something she rarely does for people.
Take care, Lizzie. We'll be rooting for you.
The atmosphere was chaotic as people rushed in and out to buy food and other supplies with their allowance. I felt my senses bombarded by the endless chatter and the myriad of smells, many of which were quite unpleasant. And I lived near a sewer. Through the crowd, I slipped to what I hoped was the west side of the market. I tried to keep my eyes above the crowd to find what the mysterious, meaty Marissa character. I found her quickly, rather, I heard her.
Fresh meat! Fresh meat! Come and get your fresh meat! Come one, come all. Tired of rathead cheese? Absolutely sick of fly patties? Come try the most unique cuts of meat you can find in the boarding. Flavor beyond comprehension.
Then she finds me, her eyes locking on me like a hawk.
You there, the beautiful lady with the sweater. Come, come, try Meanie Marissa's signature cuts, name pending.
Against my better judgment, I stepped towards the stand. I'm pretty sure I found her, but I asked anyway for confirmation. So, you're Meaty Marissa? I've been looking for you.
Ah, I see my reputation precedes me. Another eager customer looking for the most scrumptious, sumptuous, munchous meat. You won't be disappointed.
No, actually, Before I say anything, the strange girl dangles a big fat slab of meat in front of my face.
Feast your eyes before you feast. Literally. Once you get a glimpse of my cuts, you won't stop drooling. Don't worry, I provide for your napkins.
That looks nasty. Like, hella nasty. The strange slab of flesh in front of me has a kind of marbling and grayness to it that's downright repulsive to the core. My stomach immediately twists itself in knots. What kind of meat is that?
I told you! It's the tastiest and most unique meat in the market.
That doesn't explain anything. No, I mean, like, where's it from?
From my supply, of course. You think I resell other people's cuts? Ha! The nerve.
What I mean is, that doesn't look like rat meat, or any other kind of meat I've seen, come to think. It looks strange. She puts a finger to her lips and lets out a shh.
Shh! Trade secrets for investors only. You know what isn't a secret, though? How delicious it is! Read the reviews.
She thrusts a long piece of paper in front of my face. Apparently it's full of real reviews by her customers, written by hand in a messy script. Unique. Tastes like nothing else. Not the worst I've had. I would describe it as edible. A journey to Flavor Town. A must taste. Eat it right now if you can. She withdraws the review scroll.
Come on, it's only 30 Jirok. Savor the flavor. Doesn't it look succulent? Mouth-watering? Doesn't it get that stomach grumbling?
No. She sure is insistent. I ask myself morbidly, should I buy it? Okay. From here on, you may encounter situations where you have a limited amount of time to make choices. To survive, you will need to act fast and think carefully. The penalty for running out of time will vary depending on the situation. In some instances, it may be inconsequential, but others possibly not. Sometimes it may result in instant death. In other instances, Lizzie will have to rely on her gut, and she might make choices you don't want. Be wise, alert, and cautious. Good luck, and don't forget to save your game often. Buy it? Absolutely not.
No.
I slapped myself in the face mentally. What the hell was wrong with me? No way. I decided to move on and just get what I came there for. Let's see. No, I'm good, thanks.
Come
Actually,
on. Don't be a window shopper. Don't you know that's rude? Come on, I'll even let you try a bite before you buy.
the enthusiastic girl chops a small morsel off the slab and sticks it on a fork, extending it towards me. Sure, I guess. I guess it can't hurt to try a bite. Okay. With a potent anxiety in my chest, I open my mouth.
That's a good customer. Open wide.
The fork is past the barrier of my teeth. I close my lips around it and pull back. The morsel lands on my tongue with a sloppy thud. My body begins to shiver and spasm. I clench my hands tight together and shut my eyes. My tongue is awash with a sickly acidity. Notes of filth and rot on the back of my tongue. A pulpy molasses in the middle, bathed in sick. I tepidly chew the morsel. It's oddly tough, yet jellified. Slimy, repugnant gristle. It resists my teeth while enveloping. My stomach bubbles and bile rises up my throat. Every nerve in my body is screaming at me to vacate the contents of my mouth and stomach. Should I swallow it? Vomit. Nope, can't do it. I'm out. Out of my body, foul morsel. And so, with all the grace of a collapsing building, I hunch over and unleash a torrent of vomit on the ground. There's not much solid in the sauce minus the morsel and some leftovers from the day prior, I imagine. Just a splashing puddle of yellow that stinks of sulfur. My stomach is empty rather quickly, but I continue to dry heave and spit mucus for a while. People were probably staring, but I'm too preoccupied to notice or care. My throat burns and I wheeze for a time before standing upright again. Wiping my mouth on a napkin, meaty Marissa tosses me.
Flavors out of this world, huh?
That's one way of putting it.
So, how much would you like to buy? 4 pounds? 10?
No, stop asking. No, thank you. I think I've had enough for several lifetimes. Listen, though, I didn't come here for meat. I came here for information. Can you please help me?
Some nerve you've got. You're not even a customer, and you expect me to help you.
Please, I really need your help. I'd rather not tell her, but I don't see another way forward. I'm leaning close to afford myself a measure of privacy. selected to be a surveyor. I need to find who I was paired with.
Really now? What, and you can't just meet them at her tower? They would have got the same note too.
To be honest, I hadn't thought of that. The way the Mother Matron worded it, though, we have to meet after finding each other. I don't know how literal she wants me to take it. Also, what if I end up being there by myself and she sends me down into the depths all alone? I really don't want to risk it. Please, I really need your help. I'll pay you. The girl strokes her chin.
Okay, fine. Stop giving me those sad baby rat eyes. I'll help if I can, but no promises, okay? 18 Drak up front.
Thank you. Here, take your money. I'm looking for 2 boys. One's named Pucks and the other is named Rich.
Don't know a lot about Pucks. Rich, though. You're in luck. Rich is a friend of mine. Well, an acquaintance, I guess. I don't know how he feels about me. I don't want to make assumptions. I like him, though. He's such a soft guy.
I can see her eyelashes flutter wistfully as she thinks about him. Suddenly she remembers that she's actively being watched by other human beings.
No, I didn't mean like that. Like a friendly like. Understand? Anyways, he lives in one of those bunk houses near the west edge of Forgot. Careful, though. The ACs have been swarming around there lately.
That's odd. The bunk houses are right near the border between Forgot and Nobai. Aren't they encroaching on Spruce's territory?
Some major shit went down there apparently near the friend shed. Before you get too excited, no, the beast in the shed didn't prove itself real.
The friend shed is kind of a local legend. They say there was a lonely kid that used to hang out near a shed in Nobai, which was the original location for the market district before the Threes Company moved over here. The shed was locked up tight and no one ever had been inside of it. And yet this lonely kid one day heard a voice coming from it. Someone alive, stuck in there, that just wanted to have a friend to talk to. The lonely kid spent all of his time up there at the friend shed, playing and laughing and talking with a friend all day long. He'd get picked on for what appeared to others as him just talking to himself. Any attempt he made to prove that there was a voice in the shed ended in failure, with the voice remaining silent when anyone else was around. The kid didn't need to be believed, though. He had the friend he wanted. But then, apparently the shed got unlocked. The kid went inside and was never heard from again. It's worth noting that the shed did unlock. It was locked very soon after, as it's still boarded up tight. I'm sure the kid was real. Urban legends usually have a small nugget of truth in them somewhere. However, I think what really happened to him was that a troop of the AC gang might have simply killed him and tried to rob him. They hid the body, and since the kid didn't have many friends, no one looked. No one tried to find where he was buried, so his fate instead became part of the tapestry of the legend. Kind of sad in a way.
Some dudes got killed up there, though. They were an isolated patrol hanging around up there, and they got killed. They don't know who was responsible, but they suspect the killer is hiding out in Forgot. Spruce gave him special permission to do searches in limited areas, starting with there.
Spruce is the unofficial mayor of Forgot, and she's backed by a peacekeeping institution that calls themselves the Four-Leaf Clovers. Given the AC's violent tendencies and selling of drugs, they don't. So for her to allow them to look in Forgot is really abnormal. Something terrible must have happened if she's still conscious.
Personally, I think it might be a ploy they made up so they could slyly expand their reach. But that's just my intuition.
Surprised I didn't hear about any of this until now.
AC's gotta project an aura of being in control if they want people to take them seriously. It makes them look bad if they can't handle some punks slicing their boys apart deep in their own backyard. They're trying to keep it under wraps until they get the guy.
I see. Anyways, back to Rich. Can you tell me where he lives?
Oh, right. Got a map? I can show you where it is.
I hand her my hand-drawn map. She furrows her brow a little at it, but regardless marks the spot with an X.
As for Pucks, as I said, I don't know much about him. I think he lives in Junks. But good luck finding him. Place is big and he mostly keeps to himself, it seems. Don't know what kind of brain damage you'd have to live there, though. Maybe that's mean. Something generally might have fallen on his head over there. I probably shouldn't say things like that.
I understand what you mean, though. Odd to want to live in a place where garbage and junk falls from the sky. Not that I have much room to talk about this.
Because you live in the shit-yard, right? I feel sorry for your nose. Honestly surprised you don't smell worse.
I have a smell? What? You didn't have to say all that. Anyways, I think I have what I need for now. Thank you so much for your help, Marissa.
No problem.
It's a slog of a journey to Forgot, and following the vague directions the map provides certainly does not make it any better. I really should make a more detailed map sometime. Why was this place called Forgot anyway? I really wish I remembered. Oh, that was why. See, it's a funny story, actually. The story goes that the name comes from a fluffle that happened forever ago, back when the originals were laying the foundations of the boarding. By that, I don't mean the buildings and stuff. They were found where they are. It wasn't really fit for life, though, so the originals were tasked with making it livable. Eventually, once things were settled, the originals began sectioning off the boarding into districts, being named by whoever was appointed to run the district. Forgot, before it was named Forgot, was established by Saran Butcher Hodgkins, who was best friends with Junk's founder Possum Brady. Neither were people of good reputations. The two went on a celebratory romp with some jugs of potato rum and their homemade chemical concoction, a drug that would eventually go on to be called canned heat. Anyways, as you might have heard earlier, stuff falls from the sky in jumps. Well, at the time, that had not happened yet. There was garbage there, but no one had ever seen it fall from the sky. See where this is going? A porcelain pug dog, about half the size of a person, fell right on Butcher's head while he was taking a massive huff of canned heat, exploding on impact in massive shards. Miraculously, Butcher survived, but with permanent memory loss. So, when it came to officiate the naming of his district, they asked him what he would like to call it. I forgot. I really don't care. And so, one of his subordinates got a little creative with the styling, and the name Forgot was born. Bonus fact, canned heat went on to become an extremely popular substance, and some blamed Butch's survival on the drug's supposed side effect of mere invincibility. The AC Gang apparently has a cornerstone on that market and charge a premium for it, though people have made up their own cheaper concoctions in an attempt to approximate it. I'm trying it. Especially the homebrew kind. Stuff can melt your nose clean off. Moreover, it does not make you invincible. It just makes you numb to pain. At least that's Spruce's conclusion of the matter. Sometimes I have too much fun talking about stuff I've learned. The boarding isn't a nice place to live exactly, but it has character to it. Its history especially. I shouldn't waste so much time that word. Though, I'd be in a lot of trouble if I ran into an AC Gang patrol. Careful not to make much noise, I closed the door behind me. No interest in being hassled by the ACs. I just want to find Rich and get out of here. Really? I'm starting to freeze again. Dumb thing. Hold up. Do apologize. Let's save. Ooh. My sinuses. Okay. Ideally, I should try not to spend too long in one place. I haven't run into anyone yet, but who knows? This building is kind of big. What could be hiding here? Hopefully just rich. The walls are scuffed and filthy, with peeling paint that flakes off like petals on a dying flower. A musty smell of mold, and mother knows how many years of dust has been clinging for dear life, waiting for the living to send it flying. Less graffiti than I'd expected, though. People with creative bones usually get a lot of inspiration from terrible places, it seems like. Well, now there's something. The entrance hallway terminates in this odd junction between rooms, a small set of stairs leading to darkness. The matron's seal has been painted on the wall above the splatters of red paint. I really do not like this place. Something about it makes the hairs on my neck stand up. Attention. I feel like a rat in a starving cat's house. Nothing to be done, though. I have to keep moving before terror paralyzes me. Immediately, I begin to regret not having thought to bring my lantern. Already at a fork in the road, with each path obscure in the shadow. Let's go right. Well, good news and bad news. Good news, this place is on the right path. On the right path has some light. I can see. How profound, more. Nothing worth living for. Touch my pee-pee. Shit. Ghost with a gun. Your mother is going to have. Does this make you feel cool? Some of these are good. Bad news. It's dead end. Fantastic luck on my part. Lots of things to look at here, though. This was the kind of artwork I was expected to see earlier. Just absolute mountains of scribbles and scrawls, some intricate and beautiful, others inelegant and blunter than a hammer. Some people find this stuff ugly and repulsive. I can understand why, but at the same time there's an incredible amount of honesty. Even in its inelegance, there can be something beautiful to it. Your desire to make a mark on the world and have someone recognize it. To have someone recognize a pure expression of you, or at least a part of you. Maybe it's just all scribble on the walls, and I'm reading deeply into nothing. I'm not sure what message I am to glean from the ghost with the gun. I could probably think of some meanings if I had time to think on it. I don't get to talk to that many people, so maybe that's why I'm drawn to defacements like this. It's like I'm getting to chat with strangers, hearing the most important things on their mind right at the moment they were here. Something terrible is going to happen. Mother Matron forever. AC for life. That one looks relatively fresh. Your mother is going to happen. Touch my pee-pee. Okay, maybe I want to meet some of these people. Something on the sink catches my eye. A twinkle from the light shining in through the window. Razor blade. Rusty. Why do I find this so interesting? I want to pick it up for some reason. Reaching my hand towards it, there's something in the air. An ugly buzz that hovers just above the quiet. A tremor in the air around my hand. Before I can pull back, I've already picked up the razor blade. Huh? A bathroom in an apartment complex on the wrong side of town. A bathroom in disrepair. A woman with dark messy hair has some white tablets in a plastic bag. She delicately pulls one from the bag and stares at it. A slurry of feelings are resting in her stomach. No blinking. Her hand trembling slightly. The feeling of tiny ants hopping on and off her body, crawling around with their prickly little feet. For a long moment, she simply stares at the tablet. Then, a part of her wakes up. A part of her that was born years ago during a party that went down in the annals of history in her mind. place in a time that will never come again. Not even processing her actions, the girl has taken a razor blade dulled with duct tape that she keeps in her pocket. She removes the tape on the razor. She proceeds to chop a section of the tablet. She uses a ceramic toothbrush holder to crush it into a powder. Beautiful, pure snow, resting atop a bathroom counter that has not been cleaned in months. Using a straw she procured from a fast food joint earlier in the day, she proceeds to huff the powder directly into her nostril. Flame in the nasal cavity, she shuts her eyes as they roll back into her skull. The crackling fire turns into a rapid onset of rapturous ecstasy. But it's not enough. She crushes up some more. Snort. A touch of bliss licks her consciousness. And then nothing. She's on the edge. She can feel it. Just no more. Snort, snort, cough, sputter. Razor, that's rude. No, more. One last tablet, for sure this time. The process repeats and is up her nose before she can comprehend how much has gone up there already. And then, here it is. She no longer feels like she's in a filthy bathroom. She feels like she's ascending. She passes by Icarus and then the sun. She waves at angels at heaven's door. The vacuum of space welcomes her with open arms. The night sky behind her eyes that comes when the drug is in her system. The feeling that everything is fine. The party is back on. The music is loud and thumping. And the girl loses balance. She stumbles and falls headfirst into the door with a loud bang. She's jittering like a roach in bleach. Someone's banging on the door. She cannot say a word. Huh? It feels so strange. My head is swimming. What just happened to me? Did I black out? Is the thing I heard about when you're so tired you start to dream while you're awake? I need to get a grip. I should keep moving. I make my way back where I came. Let's go left. Quack, quack. I find myself trudging down a very dark hallway, only faintly lit by a light at the end of the hall. I walk slowly and carefully, trying to avoid any obstacles obscured by darkness, my hands crawling the wall like spiders for guidance. The texture is rough beneath my fingertips, oddly comforting. As I make my way towards the light at the end, my hands reach into nothingness, which nearly causes me to panic and fall. I couldn't see it at all. I couldn't see it at first. There was a path hiding to the right, waiting in ambush. Nothing there I can see except for shadow. Soft darkness waiting for me to wade its waters, if I go down that direction anyways. Let's go towards the light. The lit room at the end of the hallway is a dead end. Surprisingly large room with nothing in it. It's probably some kind of storage room. I'm surprised no one made it their home, though. People kill each other in Bricktown over rooms a quarter of this size. Huh? There was a hole in the wall here, apparently? Did it used to lead somewhere? Doesn't matter now, I guess. I should go back the other way, down that side hall. Nothing for me this direction. I think that... then something catches my eye. Huh, one of those heartbeat listening things. Odd place for one of these to be, though. Maybe Spruce might want it? I should take it with me. Reaching my hand towards it, something in the air. An ugly buzz that hovers just above the quiet. A tremor in the air around my hand. Before I can pull back, I've already picked it up. A stale room. It sits in a nexus for the lost and destitute. A woman sits there, a bundle of nerves. Her eyes scan the room. The walls are barren save for that strange symbol that the nexus for the lost and destitute has a fixation for. The cabinets to the other side of the room must be full of that shit they inject into you when you overdose. An undue button of sorts, she thinks to herself. The girl ponders how much money must have been spent in vain attempts to prolong the lives of people like herself. People so hopelessly stuck in their own brains or the cruel chemistry of their own bodies that they cannot help but pursue self-destruction. People who carelessly treat their lives as disposable as a tissue. People willing to burn every bridge, turn over every stone, leverage every asset, all just for one more time. Hospitals and medicine, as far as Loretta was concerned, were for people far more deserving. People that will actually get better. People that actually want to get better, not filth like her. Part of her wishes her mother had just given up on her, for her own good. Then it would be way easier for Loretta to kill herself in peace with the cosmic high so strong it could pulverize her soul into shards of glass and fry her brain like an omelet, and her useless, selfish little heart could finally rest. That kind of death, or even better, a world where she simply never existed. These kind of thoughts were medicinal to Loretta. When things were at the worst, she simply could retreat into a reality where she simply never was, and those that she hurt would live unsullied, beautiful lives, where every goal was achieved, goals impeded by Loretta's existence. Who knows? Maybe if she found a place where no one could find her, she could turn this world into that reality yet, with one beautiful explosion of euphoric chemicals that would make rock stars blush. Then, her thoughts interrupted. A door opens. A doctor walks in, his face stiff, lips pressed in a small, tight frown. He's rehearsed in a mirror, but performance anxiety still grips him.
So, what's wrong with me, Doc? Sheena's been saying it's just withdrawal, but this doesn't feel like it. I'm worried it's something worse.
I'm not sure how to tell you this, Loretta, but you're pregnant.
Ah, she is pregante. She is pregnant. She looks at the doctor, struck with consternation.
What?
You're pregnant. We'll have to do an ultrasound to figure out how long you've been pregnant for, but pregnant all the same.
How can I be pregnant?
How is this possible? How could I not know?
It's rare, but still more common than you might realize. It's called a cryptic pregnancy.
Spooky. The real ghost was just a fetus this whole time. The woman's brain explodes in panicked pulses of memory. Dingy rooms, memories of pills, burning nostrils, enough to kill a racehorse, a friend remarks. Amazed you're still breathing.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Would you like me to show you the blood test results?
More memories assault her mind. I don't care if it kills me. It's one less shitty person in the world. It's the only thing that helps anymore. Leave me alone. I'll do whatever you want. I need it, please. It's my life to ruin, not yours.
Fuck you and your tests. You're lying to me. You're fucking with me.
Loretta, I'm really sorry you had to find out like this, but it's the truth. You're going to have a baby.
The doctor's face is stone. He's as serious as he can be.
There's no fucking way.
Do you need a moment to yourself?
Yeah. Yes, please.
The doctor goes to leave. He stops, looks back at the woman for a moment, then leaves, closing the door behind him. The woman is alone. She feels more alone than she ever has before. She feels like a brick, drowning slowly. Is that your mom? Or is it you? Wow. I think I've gone insane. Or I'm on the cusp of it. Lovely. Do I even want to try to make sense of what I just saw? Later. In a place that's less creepy than this, preferably. I go back and head down the side hall I walked past before. The side hall into darkness eventually leads me to an edge that's lit by a small window with a single doorway. Glimpsing out the window, I think I'm on the second or third floor. It's a little hard to tell for sure. Wasn't I just underground or something? I didn't even go up any stairs. This building doesn't make a lot of sense to me. More artwork, too. These drawings seem to mostly be done with chalk or very thin paint. Some of it seems to glow faintly in the dark. That's a wiener. Which, don't take me down for the wiener. It's not my fault. It's graffiti. Message 2. Come to the river. Pick yourself a body bag. I really shouldn't stick around long, but for some reason I feel like I want to examine this room closer. Let's save. I feel like I'm gonna die here. I can't help it. I have to look around here. Something's calling. I look around carefully, shuffling around pieces of broken glass, torn carpet, assorted trash left behind, signs of life long moved on. Now that I'm paying more attention, there's an odor here. It's faint, but what glimpses of it my nostrils have are repulsed. The fuck is this? I mean, frick. Fuck. I nearly jump out of my own skin at the sight of a desiccated skeleton of something. A rat, maybe? Who knows how long that's been there? Next to it is a note scrawled on dirty cardboard in a manic hand. I'm too curious. I spent this long searching on nothing but a hunch. But maybe the note's what I'm looking for. I haven't eaten in weeks. My stomach hurts a lot. I found a dead rat. Probably scurried away from the butcher. Clawed at these walls till it died hungry. Itchy. Scratchy. None found it in the dark except for flies and meat. The flies ate and ate and ate and fucked and ate and laid eggs all inside its guts. Dead and rotting, its eyes melted out of its head. Lots of eggs. Yummy eggs, dotting its skin like grains of rice. I ate it. My tummy stopped hurting. I feel alive again. But now my stomach is going buzzy, buzzy. Buzzy, 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 buzzy. Buzzy, 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 buzzy. Oh, I regret doing this. I drop the filthy note on the ground and begin to walk away before the light catches my eye, a shine that pokes my retina for attention. It looks like some kind of pamphlet. Is the Mother Matron's symbol? What's that doing there? Reaching my hand towards it, something in the air. An ugly buzz that hovers just above the quiet, a tremor in the air around my hand. It's a memory. Memories. Before I can pull it back, I've already picked up the paper. A hallway. It sits in a nexus for the lost and destitute, a shelter for the broken and vulnerable that can't let go. In that same hallway, in a wooden chair, sits a woman. She has dark, messy hair, a t-shirt bearing artwork commemorating the tour of a long-forgotten band from decades ago. The radio stopped whispering their tunes, but in her mind, they're full volume on repeat. Background noise to a party that she wishes she never stopped. Good times long gone. She looks to a pamphlet she was handed during orientation. Not even worth the paper it's printed on, she thinks to herself. She throws the pamphlet into the trash can down the hall with a faux basketball toss and sighs. She's not noticed, but a young girl with blonde hair and a sweater has taken the seat next to her. She sits there idly for a moment, expecting the dark-haired woman to acknowledge her. However, the woman with dark hair is lost in space, at least 2 minutes into a song about someone in the corner, and the spotlight losing their religion. The world around her might as well not even have existed. Unfettered, the girl with the blonde hair and the sweater speaks.
So, what are you here for?
The girl is unflappable.
That's okay. You don't have to tell me.
A pause, then...
Meth.
Huh?
That's what I'm here to kick. Wasn't my idea, but my folks got worried about me. What? Expecting someone more ghoulish?
No, it's not that.
I'm just teasing you.
She was oddly plucky, and she did not immediately seem to exhibit any signs of long-term meth abuse. Compared to friends the dark-haired girl had in the past that were on it, she'd kept herself together rather well. Maybe it was that sickeningly positive attitude. Though now that the cat was out of the bag, there was a slight gauntiness to her cheeks, a tiredness to her eyes. Suddenly the subtle details became more obvious. The woman with the dark hair is pensive. The armor on her tongue suddenly cracks as the blonde girl looks at her warmly.
Oxy. My mom dropped me off here.
I see. That's rough. A cousin of mine died from that stuff.
The plucky girl nods in understanding. She flashes a bright smile at the girl with the dark hair.
What's your name?
The girl waits a moment, thoughtfully. Then,
Loretta.
I'm Sheena. Nice to meet you.
So that's Sheena. What in the world? Where was that? When was that? Why did I see that? Am I losing it? I should get moving. This place is getting to me. Gotta get rich and get out of here. Through the dark I find a widening stairwell looming in a void. And following a winding staircase which had a strange absence of landings, I finally reach its bottom. The acid in my legs is burning brilliantly after all those stairs, though I am thankful they were downward. Ahead is a small room, fortunately brightly lit by light from the outside. Ah, this place seems a little better. The warmth of the light coming in from the windows is comforting. From what I can see here, there's a bathroom to my left and a door at the end of the hall. What should I do? Let's go to the bathroom. Ew. This place is filthy. Look at all that grime and dirt. Who used this place last? 1,000 pigs? 2,000? How big were the pigs anyway? Could they fit in this room? I've never seen one. Read about them before. I hear they can be very stinky. They sound cute though. Some books I read even had illustrations that looked kind of sweet. I kind of wish I could hug one. I smile at the thought before a twinkle in the ground catches my eye. What's that? Reaching my hand towards it, something in the air. Ugly buzz that hovers just above the quiet, a tremor in the air around my hand. It's another memory. A memory. Before I can pull back, I've already picked up the object. It's a ripped off fingernail. Huh? Okay, ma'am. It's a dark tiled room. The door is locked. The room has not been cleaned in days. It sits in the darkest corner of the nexus for the lost and destitute. The girl has been trapped inside this room for just as long, though the mess is not hers. It's the mess of countless others that were here before her. Her clothes are old and in tatters, not hers, handed down, uncomfortable and filthy, hardly fit for any human being. The girl holds her torn off nail in the palm of her hand, her index finger burning with pain. The girl had been pounding her fist against the locked door and the tiled wall next to it for hours. Blood is dripping and splashing at her toes. Her nails are chipped and bleeding from scratching at the walls like a furious cat. One was torn off completely.
Fuck off with the self-help bullshit! None of it helps! I can't even feel anything anymore! It's all just... It feels like static. Just noise! All the time! You don't fucking get it! It's not like you really care about me anyways. Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! I need to get gas so fucking bad, man! I can't take this anymore!
Hours pass. How many? She doesn't know. Too many.
Please! Let me out of here! It all hurts. It all hurts. Why
Hours pass. How many? She doesn't know. Too many.
I just want to go home.
Her body hurts all over. Her stomach felt like a cauldron for what seemed like eternity. She can almost imagine little holes forming in her stomach lining as it cannibalizes itself. Cannibalizing itself. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's what was required of Sheena. How hard could it be? She always heard that the force it takes to bite through a finger is a little more than biting through a carrot. Her fingers are bony and thin, but look at the flesh on the finger where her nail fell off. Look how red glistens on the nail bed, like cherry sauce on a sundae. Maybe it's delicious, like heaven and life all at once, right on your tongue. Just as she begins to open her mouth, the door swings open, as if it was that easy the whole time. A man stands there. His eyes are filled with a dark determination that's somehow more frightening than death to Sheena. I can get what you need, but you're going to have to help me with something first. Take this and come with me. He hands the girl an old rusted kitchen knife and begins walking. She stares at it for a moment, stunned and whimpering. Then she follows. Damn, the fuck they do to Sheena? Holy sheesh. That was scary. Something about that was so vivid and real. I'm out of breath. My fingers hurt, too. I should get moving. There's gotta be something better through the other door. At the very least, I don't want to be here anymore. You know, call me crazy if you want, but I have a good feeling about this door. Oh, Mother, I really am going crazy. Oh, Mother. Get it together, Lizzie. Get it together. I knock on the door gently. Hello? Is anyone here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Nope. I shrieked and stumbled backwards. Where the hell? I mean, heck, did you come from? Where's all the voice acting? There were voice actors for most of this. Sorry, I was sleeping. But like, where? You popped out of nowhere. Oh, over there. He gestures to a small, cramped-looking hole in the northern wall. Is there a bed in there or something?
No.
So, you don't sleep in a bed? Just in a little hole in the wall? Yes. He fidgets a little. I had one for a while, but a couple of those AC gang guys came by and took it. Not that I minded. They needed a place to sleep. I'm happy to help. Ground's just fine for me. They threaten you?
I'm fine.
Oh, not at all. Oh, that's good. They just kept punching me over and over until I gave it to them. They didn't bother threatening me. I don't recommend taking the chair, by the way. It makes your tailbone hurt after a few minutes. Also, the one leg likes to just come off sometimes, but you can slap it back on. What? The table is good, though. I'd really like to keep that, but if it stops you from punching me, I don't mind giving it to you, too. Please leave the blanket here, though. I don't like eating off the floor, and last week the neighbor brothers lost their frisbee, so I had to give them my plate. I'm not here to take your stuff. Oh, you're not? That's a relief. What are you here for, then? I explained how I got the letter from Mother Matron and needed to find the boys she mentioned in the letter. Oh, I got one of those letters too. Glad you found me. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do about that. I thought about just heading out to Mother Matron's tower, but he nervously tries to peer behind me. They were still around earlier. You didn't run into any of the ACs, did you? Oh, no, I didn't. I think it's safe to leave now. I pondered telling him about some of the other things I saw on the way here, but he'd probably think I was insane. You're Rich, right?
My name is Rich, but I don't have any money or anything.
Again, not here to take things from you. I literally just told you I came here because of the letter. Ah, right. Sorry. Force of habit. Nice to meet you. Pucks, I'm guessing? No, my name is Lizzie. Weird. Like Pucks.
This is strange.
I'm not sure how to take that, but okay. I'm guessing that means you don't know where he is, who he is, or where he is? Nope, not at all. Why does he sound so proud when he says that? Great. Sorry? No, it's okay. We'll just have to go look for him then. How about we head to the market? I kind of worked up an appetite trying to find him. Sure, that sounds great. Let's go. Rich leads the way out through the building. It's along the way that something unnerves me. Despite just coming back the way I came, I did not enter the same room. I was back at the one hallway from before the junction, a symbol painted on the wall. I freeze. Cold sweat breaks out on my forehead. Am I sick? Hey, Lizzie, what you doing? Something wrong? Nothing. I'm coming. Just got a little lost is all. I trot along trying to shake the anxiety off me like cobwebs. It still lingers below the surface. At the market, we both realized that our stomachs were empty, so I decided to buy us lunch. We made our way to the market and approached my favorite food stand, which sat far away from Meaty Marissa's booth of mystery meat and sold skewers. Oddly, I could almost swear I still felt her gaze. Oh, she's over there. She's keeping her distance, but I can see her watching from behind the barrel. She's laser focused on Rich and does not notice that I have noticed her. Well, I think she's harmless. She's leaving us alone for now, at least. I think she just wants to ogle her crush. I certainly will be better equipped to deal with anything that might happen on a full stomach at least. The delightful smell of grilled rat and vegetables makes its way up to my nose and tickles the parts of my brain that cause my mouth to salivate. I can never resist the succulent chunks of chewy meat that ooze delicious greasy. Rich and I both order a large rat skewer. Oh wow, thank you so much. I don't know how I'll pay you back, but if I take too long, just keep your punches to my body and not to my face. I have real bad toothaches as it is. Jeez, this kid. Don't owe me anything. It's a get-to-know-you present. I had some extra allowance anyway. It was a complete lie. Allowance part, I mean. I wanted to be nice anyway. Besides, who knew if I'd even lived to use whatever allowance I had left after this ordeal was done. I looked to Rich. He was eating as if he hadn't eaten in weeks. Perhaps he hadn't. So, you're absolutely sure you don't know anyone named Pucks? Nope, not at all. I'm extremely positive. He still sounds so proud when he says that. We don't have any leads. What else could we ask? What is it, Rich? Did you hear something? Huh?
Ah!
A strange flying thing nearly crashed right into Rich's head, but fortunately stopped short. Looking closer at it, it seems like it's made of metal and plastic. What the heck is this thing?
Birdie.
I think it's a bird. I'm gonna call him Birdie. Rich, that's not a bird. Look at it. It flies. Of course it's a bird. I suddenly had a headache. The little flying machine then made a weird chirping noise and rotated slightly back and forth. It looked almost as if it was beckoning us, albeit crudely. Look! The bird wants to show us something. Rich, this is not a bird. Wait for me, birdie! Tweet, 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 tweet. Lizzie, it's not listening to me. I'm gonna go catch it. Huh? What? Wait a minute. And just like that, the machine and Rich take off. Hey, wait for me! Alright, let's save. Oh god, my butt hurts. This chair, that's the way. Oh. The strange metal flying machine weaves its way through the air of the junks with a boat-like grace, listing to and fro through the gusts of wind. Rich continues to chase and shout wildly with reckless abandon, not even considering that at any moment a 10-ton metal dumpster full of garbage and scrap could land right on his very head. One has an explanation for it, but the district of junks, originally established by Apostle Brady, who always felt more at home amongst piles of trash and filth, had a dangerous characteristic. Unpredictably, things fall from the sky here, from a source that no one has been able to determine. Like rain, but pulpier, sometimes deadlier. Sometimes you're lucky and the only thing that lands on you is some moldy fruit. Maybe some bags of animal feces. Other times, you would get the shell of a car landing on your head, shards of glass. One time I saw a bowling ball. I mentioned the porcelain pug of legend earlier. This isn't to say there isn't a reason to come to junks, or rather that people don't find a reason. If you're persistent and know what to look for, one can find things of extraordinary value, things that can be polished to valuable. Components for machines, clothes, sometimes preserved foods, cans, plastic wrapped. I found some comic books here once. It was about a young man that had a violent alien being possess his hand, and the two had learned to coexist. Their world seemed a lot nicer than mine, to be honest. I stopped following Rich for a moment. Why am I pursuing this with such drive? My chances of survival are close to none, if the legends are to be believed, a horror of unspeakable character, or one, so to speak, as to render all who encounter it speechless and weak. If I stood here long enough, I could simply wait for oblivion to find me, and the whole ordeal right here. Just close my eyes and breathe, and a life will have come and gone in a flash. We're not even at the scary shit yet. We get back in one piece. Even if you don't believe it, I do. I believe in you, Lizzie. What it's worth, if anyone was ever to make it back, it's someone like you. I must rely on my children's support to do what must be done for the collective good. What was I doing? I can't lose myself. I have to keep strong. There's more important things at stake. I'm scared beyond belief, but just laying down to die isn't how I want to go. I have friends that believe me. I have to help the collective. Whatever that ends up meaning, it's clearly important. I look up. Rich is far away, but I can still see him. If I start sprinting now, I think I can still catch up. I slap my cheeks, scan the sky for any garbage rain, and take off after him. And then I fall on my face. Ow! Huh? It's a paper cup. Nothing really unusual about that, especially not here. And yet, I'm drawn to it for some reason. Why is that? I want to look at it, though I can't really tell you why. Can't give you a reason. I should. Either. It's just running away and I could lose him. Examine the cup. Why not? Reaching my hand towards it. It's a memory! You picked it up. Eh? Oh, my butt hurts. Two women stand at a balcony, each holding paper cups filled with warm coffee. The balcony rests in a nexus for the lost and destitute. The girl with the dark hair, Loretta, told her blonde-haired friend Sheena a deep secret that's been haunting her like a ghost.
You're pregnant?
Shh. Quiet.
Loretta sternly puts a finger to her lips. Her eyes are panicked and reddened from her hours of crying.
Sorry. But how?
Loretta buries her face in her palm.
I really don't know. My body didn't even want to tell me until recently. I have no idea what to do. Me, a mother.
She stares into space. Thousands of nightmare scenarios are flashing behind her eyes. thousands more failures to be responsible for. For once, there was no excusing it. Before she could blame the negative effects of her actions on people as the price they paid for choosing to care about her, choosing to associate with her. This, though, a life was forming inside her. Everything she'd do from here on would have direct consequences for it. Already had consequences waited to reveal themselves, she figured. Sheena looks to the ground pensively.
Do you know who the father is? Could they help?
Bittersweet memories flood her head. Parted too soon, or was it too late? Was that before or after the party? Why did the party have to stop? Even worse, what if that wasn't that time? What if the conception happened somewhere in that dark oblivion of unconsciousness that nearly swallowed her life?
I might know who, but we'd have to test to see. He's gone, anyway.
What about your mom?
I can't bear to see you like this. You're killing yourself. What would your father think? You have to wake up eventually. Please stop this. Please, you look terrible. I wish I had my baby girl back.
I've put her through enough as it is. I've been dead inside for the past God knows how long at this point. Living pill to pill. I could see the look in her eyes. It killed her inside. Every time. No. I've decided. I'm on my own with this one.
A long silence rests itself on the moment.
Are you going to keep it?
What was that? I feel like the more time goes on, the less of a grip I have on myself and reality around me. Losing my mind, seeing stuff. I can't really take it. No use worrying about it, though. I need to keep moving. Hopefully I can still catch up to Rich. After a long and exhausting chase, I finally catch up to Rich and the machine. This building looked remarkably better than the other structures and junks. Yawn. Which were usually absolutely wrecked. It was kind of eerie, and I couldn't help but wonder how this one building stayed sturdy. Wow, we went pretty far. That was a lot of fun, Birdie. The little machine makes another beep and then proceeds to fly away to the top of the building. It disappears inside one of the open windows on top. Aw, Birdie's gone. I groaned. I gave up correcting him at that point. I was too out of breath to care. I think you wanted us to go inside, maybe? I think so too. Let's go. Appearances can be deceiving. For as relatively nice as the building looked on the outside, the inside more resembled the trash heap aesthetic I expected. While the building was clearly intact structurally, there was all kinds of garbage, scrap, metal, and tools strewn around everywhere. If you told me at the time that a tornado had just torn through the building, I'd have believed you. What a mess! What is this place?
It's my house.
A tall boy with a grumpy face and a black metal helmet wanders in, holding the strange flying machine from earlier.
Birdie!
Oh my gosh, is that Birdie you're holding? What did you do to Birdie?
What the hell are you...
He means the little machine you have in your hand.
Oh, you mean the drone. It ain't a bird, moron.
Birdie!
It's not, but it flies.
Have you, never seen a picture of a bird? Or do you have holes in your brain?
Oh, so it's not a bird? I guess you're right now that I look at it closer. Lizzie, why didn't you tell me? I did tell you, darn it.
Don't have time for this shit. You said your name was Lizzie, right? That means the kid with the detuned radio for a brain is rich, I assume.
Yes, correct. You wouldn't happen to be Pucks, would you?
Yes! Fucking finally! Been looking all over for you two.
But you were just standing around in your house.
What do you think the drone was for? It's got a camera! I was using it to look for you!
Huh? That's really cool. Where did you get it?
Made it myself. You would be amazed what cool shit you can find around junks if you know where to look. Machine parts and electrical components lying beneath the garbage, just waiting to be put to use.
There's a glint in his eye as he talks about it. This kind of thing really makes him happy, I think. He must really love building things. Sometimes people look down on those that spend all their time in junks. The guy who lives here, how has his house not been crushed? I kind of admire it. It takes a lot of resourcefulness to be able to wade through the garbage and scrap and find things that are useful, or make something new out of it. Whoa, that's amazing. So was that the camera on the front? He nods proudly, while tapping the bulbous camera orb. Wow! How were you able to see the pictures, though?
Ah, it has a UHF transmitter on the rear of the chassis. It can beam a signal back to the antenna on my portable TV. I have to be careful, though. If I block the line of sight between them, the signal doesn't come through.
He talks excitedly and fast. It's a little hard to follow all the details. He seems really happy to talk about it, though. Wow! I didn't understand much of that at all. I think he's saying the drone sends the pictures to his TV, so long as they can see each other. Oh, I see. So using that, he was looking for us? How did you know what we look like, though? We're all strangers.
Yeah. I didn't.
Oh, so was he even actually looking for us then the drones found us? So, you just found us by accident?
Yeah.
So really, he just wanted us to think that he was using his drone for something productive when he probably was just playing. You were just having fun flying it, weren't you? For a moment, he looks like he's about to explode.
Anyways, we have to get going, don't we? Gotta do what Mother says, right? Even if it's sending us to a fucking grave. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just gotta grab my box of tools and shit.
We should probably get going.
Yeah, we should. Together, we make our way to the Mother Matron's monolith. The monolith sat tall, looming over us as if we were pitiable little slugs ready to get squished under its boot. The sky always looked different here. Wrong, somehow. The normal and ever-present set of pillowy clouds congealed into this fluid jelly that seemed to want to slither inside the tower through every small crack and openings to swallow everything inside. It never would, though. It simply maintained a comfortable distance from the tower out of fear. A fear that was starting to make its way into me as I gazed upon the monolith. Doesn't matter how many times I see it, it still floors me how huge this thing is. Wow, I've never been this close to it before. It's so big. Yeah, it's big, alright. Huck stormed past us and went inside, hands in his pockets. Rich and I followed Pucks inside, brows furrowed and somewhat offended. The lobby was a bit underwhelming compared to the rest of the building. It was also considerably more damp than I thought the Mother Matron would like. For some reason, I thought someone would be meeting us here. Apparently, there's no welcome committee. There's an intercom, though. A what? Over there. He gestures to a strange box on the wall with two dimly lit red lights on it. It's an intercom, something you can use to talk to someone who's in a different part of the building. Oh, I see. You're really smart, huh? How does it work? Well, I've never used one. Just read about them in some of the books I found. I think you're supposed to push that button and talk to it. Oh, I see. With none of us wanting to actually press the button, we stood there until awkwardness decided to rest itself on the moment. So you can press it or what? Huh? I didn't realize I was supposed to. Well, of course you are. You wanted to see how it works. Best to do that is to use it. I hesitantly press a finger on the button. What do I say? My voice cracked from the nerves. I don't know. I guess, hi, we're the three the Mother Matron summoned. Okay, I'll try. 12th floor. We all jumped a mile in our shoes. Fucking shit. I guess I heard you, Pucks. Shut the fuck up. Pucks, was that really called for? Don't really care. Let's move. We gotta hit the 12th floor. Puck strummed off. Again. Rich's eyes were glued to the floor. He looked a little sad, like a little sad mouse, and I felt my heart twinge for him. He's kind of a jerk, isn't he? No, he's not so bad. I think he's just scared like me. He just shows that differently. Rich.
Let's get going.
We should get going. Yeah, you're right. After an exhausting climb of creaky stairs, we find ourselves on the 12th floor. And on the 12th floor is where we will leave it tonight. Alright, guys. That was the first part of For Mother Matron. I will be continuing this game tomorrow after I get off work. It's about to get to the scary shit, so we'll see how it goes. Alright. That being said, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.